Hey everybody, look at me. It's 2:30 in the afternoon and I've been working and on the house and decided to have another shower and put my blankie on, which is, look at it, great big enormous thing, and it's so warm. I'm telling you, I haven't even got the heating on and it's freezing outside. So I got my cup of coffee and I thought I'd come on for a chat for a while. You may have seen the video yesterday where my son and I visited Alfie's grave. I still can't comprehend how he can be there. I still can't. I keep going back to the day that Alfie passed away, and there was myself, our 3 children, my younger son's partner, our grandson. We were all there, and being told that the next 24 hours were critical, but they'd taken Alfie off the ventilator. They weren't helping him. That was a medical decision. They decided they weren't going to help him because when they spoke to us, they were going down the list of Alfie's illnesses and the Parkinson's disease and the Lewy body's dementia. And I guess, as with my mother, I don't guess, I know, as with my mother, they decided it was a medical decision, and if he came through, it would be under his own steam. If he didn't, then it wasn't meant to be. And that was a medical decision based on their assumption of no quality of life, I suppose. I know that along with my kids, our kids, all of them, that we all experience this dissociation, that we can't grasp Alfie's gone. It's still numbness and disbelief, and sometimes it comes over me in waves, and it's like a kick in the stomach. It really is, and it just, I don't sleep. I'm up and down the stairs all damn night long, eating packets of biscuits because I'm not eating proper food, and it's got to stop, otherwise I'm going to be the size of a house. Although a couple of packets of biscuits aren't going to hurt me, I suppose. But I'm not eating properly, I'm not sleeping. I don't want to get to the point where I'm having to have help with that. I want to just come through under my own steam. I must admit that I will sometimes take an antihistamine tablet before I go to bed, because they do tend to knock me out somewhat, but I've got none left, so I have to do without at the minute. I've said that Alfie hasn't come back to me, that I don't feel him, but I do feel a comfort, I do. And sometimes there's movement on the bed, and I said to my son, I don't know whether it was Amber, my dog, who does visit me, and she passed away a few years ago, and I can feel her sometimes with her paws on the bed. And no, I'm not crackers. And then, you know, there's been like other movements, and I've actually said, is that you, Alf? But there's been no response. I read a remarkable account yesterday, I'm going to post it, I think, in the description, of a friend who had a near-death experience in July last, the month before Alfie passed away. And he had an experience, a near-death experience, that actually changed his outlook on life. And I think that can happen. I've been close to death, and I have to say that I've experienced nothing. I was unconscious the whole time. Having said that, I'm having to remind myself that apart from a certain faith that I have, that may defy logic, but it's faith. Logic doesn't really come into it. Apart from that, I have to remind myself of certain experiences I've had when I've been visited by someone who had passed over. And there's been a few occasions, and I'll tell you about one. And I was in a house, and I was on my own this night, and my daughter was there though, and gone to bed early, and I heard footsteps, bump, 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 coming around the side of the bed, and it scared me. And I looked, and there was a man standing at the side of my bed. Nobody in the house except my daughter and myself. Alfie and the kids are out somewhere. And this man was standing there with his hands cupped, and he was lighting a cigarette. And I said, "What do you want? What do you want?" And I dived back under the covers, came back out, he was still there, came back out, he'd gone. I flew out of bed, yelled for my daughter, grabbed her, we ran down the stairs, and I phoned for my son, to say, "Come back, something is going on." He picked the phone up on the second ring, and he said, "I heard you calling me." And I fully, I hadn't taken a sleeping tablet, I hadn't had a drink, I was fully compos mentis, and this actually happened. And I saw him one more time. No, I didn't see him. I felt his presence one more time. It was the same bump, 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 bump around the bed. Now, somebody's explained it to me that he was my guardian angel. He didn't look like a guardian angel. He just looked like an old man, late 80s, glasses, grey hair, brushed back, a dark suit, lighting his cigarettes. Didn't look like a guardian angel, but I was told that it's probably somebody who came to warn you of things that could be happening to you in the future. It came to warn you to be careful and to be wary. And funnily enough, not long after that, there was a couple of bad experiences where I did have an accident, and I did end up in hospital, and certain things happened. But there was that experience, and then there was another time when I was in, I would have been about 13, and I was at home, and it was a very old house, and I had the back bedroom, and then you walk through up a step to another big bedroom, which was my elder brother's bedroom, then across the landing to the other bedroom where my mother was. And again, I heard taps running, and there wasn't an upstairs bathroom, it was a downstairs bathroom, but I heard water running, I heard taps running, I heard footsteps, I heard somebody come through my brother's room, down into my room, and I got under those covers and I did not move. And when I looked out again, nothing there. I flew out of bed, straight through my brother's room. I noticed the door to his cupboard, which was always kept locked, was open. I flew straight through that room, straight into my mother's room, drew the covers back and jumped into my mum's bed. Now, the relationship with myself and my mother wasn't such that I would ever get into bed with her, and that was the first and last time, to my knowledge, that it ever happened. And my mother was telling the next door neighbour about this, about the happenings, and apparently the lady who used to live in that house decades before had passed away, and in the front bedroom, and her husband, some months later, was found dead on the floor. And the lady said that she thought it was to do with this, and she said to me, just shout out, what do you want? What do you want? She said he probably doesn't realise that he's actually passed over because it was a sudden death. So those were just like a couple of occasions that I know of that happened, that I'm convinced happened. I know that they did. And I'm having to remind myself that there is something very definite, that I'm waiting for something very definite to happen. I'm getting very impatient for it. I'm convinced also that Alfie chose the time of his death. It was 2:00, exactly 2:00 on the 22nd of August 2020. All the twos. And as I've said before, there was just the one tear that I kissed away, and I said, are you crying, Alf? Don't cry. And I fully believe such an unselfish, wonderful, generous, gentle man, that he's gone first to prepare the way for me, and that he'll come for me. I know he will. Hope I've cheered you all up. It wasn't meant to be. I don't know what I was going to talk about. The room was looking nice, actually, changing the subject. Got the tree on, and the wonky fairy on top, or angel, Mrs. Claus and Santa in the window, and the lights on, but you can't see them properly. So it's all looking very nice. And my flowers here, my son brought me raffia-tied flowers, and I've got them. And there. Alfie's corner. I'm not going to risk putting anything else on the shelves. And I bought a lovely new picture frame from Amazon. They'd packed it that badly with a thin sheet of bubble wrap. It was boxed, but it was boxed as such, like you go to the shop and you'd buy it in the box, and it would be wrapped for you, and you'd take it home, you'd be very careful. But it just came in that box as it would be in the shop, not in another box. And I suppose the drivers are throwing the stuff on the vans because they've got so much to do, being coming up to Christmas. It's a nuisance, because I've had about 5 items that I should have returned. I've only returned a couple because it was just getting to be an embarrassment. They even got a game that they sent me, and they sent it in German instead of in English. I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to get one of the grandkids on and get them to learn a couple of languages. Maybe German's a good place to start. Right, well, I'm going to have my cup of coffee, and I haven't yet eaten today, so I'll have something to eat in a bit, and I'll speak to you later on. I hope you're all having a good day. Lots of love. Bye bye.